I have had the weekiest week. I had a week off and I was excited to just go on a couple dates during this week because that's what I would have done in the past if I had time off. I would have just like met people or like found people to who are also available to go on a date with, talk to them. And also meeting in person is so nice. To chat in person, it's so nice. And I was really looking forward to that. And for some reason, the first night, oh yes, someone who I thought was from a country that I'm from completely wasn't from there. Like, literally said that I was going to meet him somewhere. And then, like, when I got to that place, he didn't show up. And that's never happened to me before. So I felt like the lizards were attacking. Like, I was like, what is happening? So I just didn't really react to it because I was like, it's such not a big, I mean, it's so not a big deal when these things happen. You feel like in the moment, it's like, whatever. But it was afterwards I got the heebie-jeebies a bit, and I was like, oh, like I didn't want to go home. Like I felt a little strange, and I went to the Chip, like where my mum and dad used to hang out all the time. Uh, a lot of people I know go there because I used to work in the Chip as well. Like I used to be a waitress in there before I was a female director. I was also a female waitress. And the Chip's like a magical vibe, with that painting by Alistair Gray, with all those paintings, you just go, wow, it'll be great to go up into the bar and stand outside and stand and just look at the sky. And obviously there were people up there who I could chat to, and it was just so nice. And I didn't tell anyone that I'd been stood up because it felt like so insignificant. And I got talking to really interesting people, and I spent a really long time just chatting to like good people who are out there, like just folk of all kinds. Like the Alistair Gray quote, that's his quote about life. There's folk of all kinds in Scotland, and feeling moved by that fact. I was born in Glasgow. I feel connected to this place, and then felt like I didn't have to tell anyone because I would just talk to someone else and meet someone else eventually. And I ended up staying up until 3 a.m. and then like sleeping in until like the middle of the day the next day. And then I was looking to make other plans. And everyone that I made plans with this week, for some reason, like didn't show up. It was really scary, actually. For like this 1 week, people just were not showing up this last week for personal things, not for anything to do with work. Because work is always perfect for me, and that's sort of been my MO, is like my work for the last like 20 years. My work has been impeccable, and I've done everything, and I've dotted all my T's, dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's, yeah. Whichever way around it is. And also, I feel like work is easy because you just collaborate with beautiful, amazing humans, and everything about it is wonderful. And my family life is wonderful. Everything about that's easy. But this has been tricky. It's been tricky because it's not because I have high standards, but it's tricky because like if you want to have a relationship, you want to be intimate with people. And my life's work, like my first film, is about intimacy. Everything I've ever done is about, all the stuff I've ever worked on, every acting job I've ever done is about intimacy and connection, and what happens when a man and a woman are intimate together. It takes them to another place. It makes them heal each other, and they can actually grow, and they can grow sexually, they can grow spiritually, and they can grow in who they are as souls together in a way they can't if they're just mates, in a way they can't if they're in an open relationship. There's nothing risky about that, about not ever being brave enough for monogamy. Like that's always been my belief system. So it was just consistently, I'm not gonna lie, that thing happened on Tuesday or whatever day that was, I can't even remember, where like the person was like, I'm sick, and then like they showed up anyway, and I was like, what the hell's happening? And then I like had to leave, and it was like, that happened on like one of the days. And then the next thing that happened was I was supposed to meet somewhere else, and they didn't show up. And I was like, oh my God. And the next day they said, hey, by the way, I'm sorry, this app was being glitchy for me. And now I had to re-download it and turn my phone on and off and like all this new stuff, and I had to restart everything, and I'm so sorry, but like, let's meet again tonight. And I was like, okay. So then we planned in the evening, or like when to do stuff, at what time and where, and then, or when to meet. And then they deleted, after a few hours, they deleted their account again. And I was just like, this is so messed up. And then, you know, I remember being a teenager in this world, and I remember we didn't used to do shit like this to each other. We didn't used to drop the ball like this. Like, we would be there for each other. We'd show up. You know, there weren't phones. We didn't have this ability to just like message or text. So you had to say like, oh, I'll meet you on Sunday at this place, you know, at the gates of some place, and you would meet them there. Like, come rain or come shine, you know, you'd get there and you'd be so excited when you got there, because it was like everyone was there, everyone knew you were going, and there was this jovial feeling of camaraderie that you don't get from this like instant quality of like being able to cancel people or cancel without really caring about the other person at all, or like it being so meaningless, and people making it meaningless for them. So therefore you're like, wait, but it's really important for me, it's really meaningful for me. And my God, like, I made a fucking book. I wrote a novel of why I liked the person I was with my first boyfriend. I wrote a diary of reasons why I loved him. Like, and I gave it to him after I've completed it. It took me a long time to finish it. Like, I gave that to him. That's how we used to do foreplay. That was our way of saying, I like you, you know, because I wrote this stuff for you. I wrote words for you on a page, or I drew shit for you. I cut out stuff in a collage for you, and here's what it is. This is our love. This is the potential we have together. This is how deep we'll go together. This is how meaningful it is. And then you're down this road. You're in this like deep connection of being a wife, being a husband, feeling like, my God, you know, you have everything. You feel like the deepest form of connection really is when you can commit, and then you can feel like, oh my goodness, all of these other things fall into place and everything else is so serene and beautiful. And I'm like, I would take boring right now. Like, I just want to be like somebody's wife. I want to sit around. I want to do boring stuff. Like, if they're going to be like, I'm going to garden now, I'm going to go garden for like 4 hours, I'd be like, yes, I love that. You know what I mean? Like, or if they're like, read me all of Shakespeare, I'll like recite Shakespeare to you. You know, I'll like sing every song I know off by heart to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I won't even have to listen to the song. Like, I remember it all, so I can tell you what songs mean something to me. Like, what songs make me feel like I can woo you, or, you know, you can woo me through music. Like, some dude like playing guitar for you, come on. Like, or someone on the piano, come on. This is why men joined and started bands before the internet. Like, they started bands so they could meet their wives and be loyal and lay down their swords for somebody who's like actually worthy of them. And, you know, if they're religious, go to church and like raise the kids in that vibe where it's like a community and you feel like everyone knows you because you're responsible and you are known. That's the thing about it. It's like, it feels like nobody wants to be known. It feels like people are like, don't know me, I'm not here, like, I don't exist. Either I don't exist for real because I'm scamming you, or like I don't exist because I can't do one-on-one. And you're just like, ah, like I felt this feeling of nostalgia and loss this week. Like, how come that hope is gone? Like, where is the love? You know, like, I know a lot of people are in monogamous relationships and they're keeping that ball in the air and like just floating in space in this magical, ethereal place. And maybe it's also challenging in its own way. Of course it is. But it's also how we're meant to be. We're meant to be in rapport with each other. Someone's supposed to be taking the piss out of me every day. Like, someone is supposed to be making me laugh. and I'm supposed to take the piss out of them and make them laugh. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. We're not just here to be like sex robots or like porn stars, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want a porn star husband. I want someone who's like, hi babe, I'm here for you. Like, I care about you and I'm gonna woo you, and here's my love language for you, or whatever the fuck it is they want to talk to me about. But I'll be like, yes, I'm interested in what people have to say, but like, you have to meet in the first place. You have to show up. And I'm worried about these people. Like, there's little people out there who are like basically watching porn when they're very young and too young. And like, how are you going to hold someone's hand after that? How are you going to like decide to go on a first date and just be gentle and soft and gentle? And also, like, it takes your energy away. Like, if you're watching porn, if you're a man or a woman and you're watching porn, it's taking away your energy. It takes away your soul a wee bit. Like, it means you're weak. It means you're sexually weak for the person who you show up for in real life. And you show up and you're like, I can't, do anything. I can't be impressive in real life because I've literally given my whole body away to this idea, to these strangers that I don't even know. So it's not intimate to be watching porn, intimacy with the real person in real life. It's much braver. It takes a lot of intensity as a human being to be able to do all that stuff and like meet people and go out there and go, you know what, like, I'm going to put myself out there and believe in the hope of feeling like love is real. And we know it because like our grandmothers told us that it's real, and like, your husband's out there. And it's like, just because he's not here yet doesn't mean he's not coming. That's the weird thing about the truth of reality as well, is that, do you know what I mean? It's not okay, but it's also not the end. Like, if it's the end, I'm not even making sense right now because I just want to cry over everything. And I'm not even, I don't cry when I'm premenstrual, but like, even if I did, now would be the shame. But I'm not even premenstrual. I'm just like crying because that's how upset I am from this week. It's okay. But if it's not okay, it's because it's not the end. So it's going to be okay. God, sometimes I just like realize that when you spend a whole week being hopeful and you're just like, that's okay, it's fine, don't worry, that's okay, it's fine, for like 5 days in a row, and then for a weekend, for like another 2 days, and then today I was just like, oh my goodness, like messaging with this person that we were supposed to go on a date tonight, and I was like, that's nice. Totally doesn't work out, totally like is, sorry, it's like just being really rude. And I was like, wait a minute, like, we can still meet. And then they were like, no, I'm not meeting you. And I was like, okay. And then it just turned into this really sick, I can't even explain it. It was just like horrible. And he was like beyond rude, and like, I can't explain it because I don't want to like give it justice or like justify it or something or give it attention. But I'm just gonna say it, like, people shouldn't be sending each other naked pictures unless you're like in love already, or anyone said that they want that. Like, if there's a woman out there or a man out there that says, yeah, I want those, like, I want a naked picture of you, that's great, you can send a naked picture. But no one ever says that first. Men are sending these like images of their anatomy to women, and women are going, I don't give a shit about that. Like, take me on a date or talk to me, or like, tell me something about yourself. You know what I mean? That's not foreplay. It doesn't help. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's belittling us all. It makes us all these pieces of meat just like slopping around everywhere, going, my God, this is like so unhelpful. Like, it's not even, I can't even, hang on, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of this because there's like so much shit to say about it, but I don't even know what this video is going to be called.